53, 54. So this is the kind of like mind training, lojong, kind of lojong teaching, mind training. So first, you have to know the lineage of this teaching, This teaching lineage coming from India to Tibet. Like, can you hear me? Yeah. So it is Shakyamuni Buddha taught teaching in India. 3 wheels of Dharma turning, right? First wheel of Dharma turning, Four Noble Truth, and second wheel of Dharma turning, Heart Sutra and Perfection of Wisdom, and third wheel of Dharma turning is Buddha taught about mind-only school and Buddha nature, right? So all Buddhist teaching, 84,000 teaching, finally comes to subdue your mind, train your mind, training the mind. So what we are training, we are trying to train our destructive emotions, afflictive emotions. Afflictive emotions and destructive emotions, we need to train through our meditation, through our practice. But in order to subdue this, we have to know the instruction about how can we practice. So what is the benefit, right? And what is the how can we meditate? How can we defeat these afflictive emotions? Through training the mind, right? So this training the mind, will of sharp weapon coming from India. So Buddha Shakyamuni give this teaching to Manjushri Buddha, wisdom Manjushri, right? So Manjushri give this teaching to Indian master Shantideva. We are talking about this teaching special for exchanging oneself to other bodhicitta mind, right? So Manjushri gives this teaching to Shantideva, and Shantideva from Shantideva it goes to Dharmarakshita, which is composer of this text, Indonesian master, who composed this text, Dharmarakshita. So Dharmarakshita give this teaching to Atisha. So Atisha came to Tibet 11th century. So 11th century, this teaching come to Tibet. So then Atisha came to Tibet 11th century, start Kadamba lineage. So Kadamba lineage in Tibet. So Kadamba, Kadamba lineage come from Atisha, came from India to Tibet, and then he started giving led to the path to enlightenment, Lamrim root text. And then since Kadamba lineage come to India, into Tibet. So then Atisha gave this teaching to Dromtonpa Gyalwai, the Tibetan master. His holiness is the manifestation of Dromtonpa Gyalwai. Dromtonpa Gyalwai is the manifestation of generosity, Buddha compassion. So then Dromtonpa give this teaching to Kadamba, Geshe, Potawa, Sharawa. There are 3 different Kadam lineage. Lamrim Kadam lineage, oral Kadam lineage, and what else? Oral Kadam lineage, Lamrim, and textual Kadamba lineage. So three these are we call the old Kadamba lineage. So Lamrim Kadamba lineage, Potawa to Sharawa. And textual Kadamba lineage from Kadamba Geshe Gomboa to the new Supa, Giri Kadamba master. And oral Kadamba lineage is given by Geshe Chengawa to the Geshe Chayurwa. So this new old Kadamba lineage. This whole Kadamba lineage. And then this whole Kadamba lineage, and this, then Gelugpa is new Kadamba. This whole Kadamba practiced by Nyingma, Kagyu, Sakya, everybody practice. But new Kadamba lineage means Gelugpa. So Gelugpa, since Lama Tsongkhapa, 1347, born in Tibet. So he start Gelugpa lineage. So Lama Tsongkhapa combined these three together. Textual Kadamba lineage, oral Kadamba lineage, and loving Kadamba lineage, making one. Make one. That is called new Kadamba lineage. So this is called the Gelugpa lineage. So this lineage, this is the how teaching coming from India to Tibet. So Indonesian master, then came to Tibet at 11th century. So that's the lineage of this teaching, right? So now when we are listening this teaching, we need listen with right motivation, you know. So make sure your motivation here, right motivation means, we used to say, avoid poisonous food. Nobody want to eat poisonous food, right? When we talk of poisonous food, who will eat the poisonous food? But here, poisonous food means right motivation. So your motivation should not mix with these two, self-grasping mind and self-judging mind. So if your motivation is mixed with these two, then this is like poisonous food. Imagine if you eat poisonous food, then make you sick and bring you many, many problems. Yes. Similarly, if our mind is mixed with this grasping and disturbing emotion, self-judging mind, like eating poisonous food, it will bring many, many problems, pain, suffering, and like that. So therefore, so right motivation means your motivation is not mixing with these two, right? Self-grasping mind and self-judgment. Pure motivation, I'm going to listen this teaching, then I will think about this teaching, then I will meditate on this teaching, not only for myself, but I want to bring benefit for all living beings. Because of this motivation, then I will listen to this teaching. So this motivation is what we call the Bodhicitta motivation. Bodhicitta, right? So Bodhicitta motivation should be there, you know, when you are practicing, meditating. Because if you motivation mixed with Bodhicitta mind, it become your practice became very powerful. Like, you know about Indian master Nagarjuna, you know. He was the Nalanda University in India, right? So he turned all the mercury into the iron into the gold. And he was able to feed 2,000 monks for 12 years in Nalanda institution. That Nagarjuna, you know, Indian master, because of Bodhicitta mind, he turned all mercury into iron into the gold, and he was able to feed 2,000 monks for 12 years because of Bodhicitta mind. Power, you know, like this. The Bodhicitta mind is very powerful, you know. This is the benefit, you know, benefit of practicing this, how can I say, this mind training. So benefit of. So then you have to ask question, you know, how can I purify or transform my negative into the positive, right? So then, according to Buddhists, the conventional nature of mind is clear and luminosity. So all these afflictive emotions, negative minds are not not in the nature of the mind. They are temporary, It depends on the circumstances. When the circumstances is there, emotion arises. When the circumstances is not there, no anger arises. No anger, jealousy, all depends on the circumstances. They are not nature in the mind. So therefore, is it possible we will be able to defeat complete or suppress, or we can minimize, or we can cut the level of emotion? It is possible, because those dystopic emotions and affiliate, they are not nature in the mind. It's very clear. Because conventional nature of mind is very clear. Ultimate viewpoint, nature of mind is emptiness. Right? Conventional, it is luminosity and clear. No matter, the nature is very clear, like clean water. It's like water, nature is clear, It's just polluted by the mud. So if clean water, if you stir water, you never see the nature of water. But once you calm down and slowly, if you have glass, it's clean water, right? First, very clear water. When you look at the glass, you see the water very clear. And then later you put some mud or something, stir. You will never see this water clear. But water nature is clear. But because of stir, it's like our conceptual mind are like stir, our nature of mind. So we are unable to see this clear and luminosity nature of the mind. So therefore, this is the very important to set up this right motivation. So, and then if you set up right motivation, right, and then you can see the power of the mind. Even you see, if you practice and if you realize the benefit and thinking about the mind, eventually you see some even angry people can make very peaceful people. You see this, you may have lots of anger, but eventually week, month, then you practice and meditate, you see calm down this person. So that's very clear, these emotions are not nature in the mind. We can fix that, right? If the anger is nature of the mind, then then you'll be angry all the time. If you start angry, you are angry all the time because it's the nature of anger. But it's not. It depends on the circumstances and conditions. So that's how powerful this practicing mind training and Buddhist mind. This power means this is very powerful if you have right motivation and in your daily life familiar with the positive attitudes day by day, week by week. Eventually you will defeat all these emotions because you are very familiar with positive attitude and you will apply right attitude. And then you doing like this, and eventually you will be able to see the mind's clear and knowing nature, Mind nature never polluted. It's always clear, but we don't know because we have so much thoughts, emotions. What happened in the past, what will happen in the future, then these thoughts bring so much conceptual mind and then polluted the mind. But if you don't think about 1 minute, you don't think about during meditation time, just 1 minute not thinking about what happened in the past, what will happen in the future, just remain on the present state of the mind. you will see the mind calm down. You see there's no thought because you stop past, future, and your mind is focusing on the present state of the mind. So you see how mind is clear and luminosity. So this is how we have to do meditation with something like that. You have to don't have to meditate even long time, but 5 minutes. You can do this every day, 5 minute morning, 5 minute lunchtime, 5 minute evening, 15 minutes per day, And then eventually you stop. I'm not thinking what happened during your meditation time. So I'm not thinking about what happened in the past, what will happen in the future. Just concentrate on the present state of mind. But just remaining your mind at the present state of the mind. You see bliss, clear, and bring you some kind of joy. When your meditation finish, so this will help to left the imprint in the mind, And then next meditation, much easier. Because you start, so when we starting the meditation, it have to start with joyfully, voluntarily, not saying somebody pushing you like this. Start with joyfully, finish with joyfully. Then the next meditation, very easy for you. Because you start with joyfully, finish with joyfully. If you start with not joyfully and then you are meditating, then it tortures your body and mind. You know what I mean? So you just, short duration doesn't matter. You just try to be good quality meditation. It's not necessary you have to do long meditation. You start with small durations, 21 times, saying Tibetan Lama. 21 times, 5 minutes, 21 times. How much 5 minutes, 21 times? 5. How many 5 minutes, 21 times? To do 5 minutes, 21 times. Just 5 minutes. Do something else, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 21 times, joyfully, and finish with, I start with joyfully, finish with joyfully. You want to meditate, just like this. So this will help you to understand the nature of the mind, okay? So that's the lineage, you know about lineage, this coming lineage. Okay, then right motivation and power of you. You know the benefit of the meditation, right? When you know the benefit, you don't want to lose. Right? It's like business people don't want to lose. They see the benefit. People who do the business use so many different types of skills. And then they're making profit, they don't want to lose. They want more and more. So similarly, you see the benefit of this mind training, it will bring you lots of knowledge, understanding. It will bring you lots of good benefit, Make your mind peaceful and joyful, So nobody wants suffering, right? Because as long as we have mind, if you don't control the mind, you will suffer. If you control the mind, you have less suffering. You know what I mean? So mind is business of everybody. Everybody has mind, right? If there's mind, we have feeling. So if your daily life start with the good mental attitude, it will help you to understand the mind and the knowledge of the mind. Because mind is luminosity and knowing. It's nature. Nature never polluted. It's always with us, right? But pollution starts with our negative mind. Therefore, you have to know the different types of negative actions and you know the certain level of antidote, and you will apply antidote, and then eventually turn your mind into the positive attitude. So that's mind training means. We are training our ordinary mind into the positive, virtuous mind. That's mind training means. So our mind, right now, when we wake up, our mind goes to the ordinary. Ordinary means just gross mind. We see, we smell, we think, not thinking about much about the mental attitude. Always thinking about the grosser level of mind. That whatever we see, smell, taste, all this is a gross mind. But we are not thinking about the mental inner mind. If we more think about mental inner mind, then we will subdue all this gross mind. You know what I mean? Our mind is not used to be thinking that way. So meditation means using your mental mind, not I, no, right? Using, just stop all your sensory mind and focusing your meditation object with the mental mind, mental attitude, not I, no, you know what I mean? These are not meditation, not reliable. They are they're fluctuating all the time. You know what I mean? So when the mind understands deeper, it remains firm on bottom, and firm from the bottom. It will not stir your mind. You understand what I'm saying? It's like ocean. Ocean is very deep, but waves are coming and going on the ocean. And ocean bottom line is very deep. Nobody can stir the ocean. So like our thoughts, emotions are like wave coming from the ocean. Sometimes strong, sometimes like this. So that's the purpose of meditating on the mind training, right? So now here on 53, have we got a 53 verse?
Yeah.
The word is better than, better him. Better him, rip, cut the heart of our grasping for ego, our love for ourselves, trample him, dance on the head, on this treacherous concept of selfish concern, tear out the heart of the self-centered butcher who slaughter our chance to gain final release. Whom show all your power, O mighty protector, Dada, tie up this enemy. Do not let him loose, pair, set up, free by your might. O great Lord over death, cut, break the knot of self-interest that bind us inside. Appears Yamanta Raktu protector, I have further entreaties to make up. You still these set of 5 poisonous mistakes and delusions drag as down in the quicksand of this daily toil. Cut it off, rip it to shreds. Now I will read the commentary here. Last time we didn't read the commentary. I forgot to read the commentary. 50. 50, right? 50.
53.
Yeah, we haven't did commentary. Dharmarakshita was also great adept of Yamantaka practices, that Indonesian master. So Dharmarakshita is not Indian, Indonesian master. So who is the teacher of Atisha? The point he used for his practice was until recently in Reading Monastery. This is monastery in Tibet. So Atisha came to Tibet and built a Reading Monastery in Tibet. It's the Reading Monastery in Tibet. Once when the Muslims invade India, right, in 10 India, they struck this painting and the war was averted. So this Dharmarakshita who have practiced, you know what I mean? Thereafter his handprint remained on the painting, you know, his master. Now we should entreat Yamantaka, please turn the wheel of sharp weapon above your head and strike out hard against our self-grasping and self-judging attitude, which you are wrathful. You are wrathful for the self-grasping and self-judging mind. Self-grasping means because self means self, right? I, me. And we have 5 aggregates. Your body belongs to that I. So as soon as we wake up, we have feeling of I am. That's self-grasping. And that I to be independent, not dependent on other factors. And then you have my body, my feeling, my reckoning, all belongs to that self. That is called the mind, I and mind. That to be independent existence. So that's the fundamental ignorance. Right? So if you are meditating on yourself, emptiness of yourself, then I, the meditator, sitting on the cushion. So you have to think, I, Samdhanla, meditator sitting on my cushion. Right? Because based of these 5 aggregates, based of Samdhanla's 5 aggregates, I meditate and sit on the cushion. If I'm sitting on the cushion, right? Samdhanla sitting on the cushion. And you're sitting on the cushion means your body is sitting on the cushion, right? Your body aggregate sitting on the cushion. And then say Samdhanla sitting on the cushion. So then I, based on 5 aggregates, right? 5 aggregates. I'm sitting here because of my 5 aggregates. I'm sitting on the cushion. So because of this, I myself depend on the aggregates. Therefore, I'm not independent existence. Then you will, that's a simple way of recognizing your emptiness. I, Samdhanla, sitting on the cushion because I depend on my aggregates. If I'm not dependent on my aggregates, I cannot sit on here. So I'm sitting on here because of aggregates, my aggregates. And then because of aggregates, I sitting on the cushions. So therefore, I'm not independent self-existence because I depend on my aggregates. If I'm self-independent existence, I won't be sitting here. That's the simple way you are recognizing your emptiness of self. You understand what I'm saying? I Samdhanla, right?
Yeah.
Not independent existence because I'm dependent on my aggregates. Because I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
My body is sitting here. Then I'm sitting here. So I depend on my body, my feeling. my recognition, my karmic formation, my five aggregate consciousness. Because of this, I'm sitting here. So I'm sitting here, I'm not independent existence. Because I'm dependent on other. I depend on my body. It's a simple way. You are meditating on the emptiness of yourself. The phenomena means feeling, recognition. It belongs to me. My feeling, my recognition. They are not independent existence. Depend on each other factors. So that's but against delusion, in order to do that, they may happen. We must focus all attention upon developing bodhicitta through exchanging oneself. Awareness for awareness of others. Thus we request Great Yamantaka to assist. So we are asking Yamantaka to help me to succeed this practice. You know what I mean? With great fury, please turn the wheel 3 times above your head. Strike an attitude of self-judging and self-grasping and self-judging. In order to eradicate this attitude, we need relative and ultimate bodhicitta as well as union of these two. So union of these two, this is the tantric unification of clear-light mind and illusory mind. The unification of this clear-light mind, illusory body. Combine these two Buddha. So we wish to say this base to truth. Method, wisdom and bodhicitta. Result, true bodies of the Buddha, Dharmakaya and form body. So base to truth, 4 noble truths like this. Truth of suffering, truth of origin, truth of path, truth of cessation. Cessation is result, path is method. The base is we are trying to understand the nature of the suffering and the cause of the suffering. Base to truth. Method, wisdom and bodhicitta. Result, Dharmakaya and form body. You know. Bodhicitta should be equal and balanced. So these 2 sharp eyes blazing with the fire of wisdom and method are equal and parallel, right? Yamantaka 4 fangs symbolize the 4 opponents of the power. 4 opponent means, so when we practice the purification, we need 4 opponents. Power, 4 power. Power of the object, power of application, power of regret, power of promise. These 4 opponents. Power of object, taking refuge in bodhicitta mind. Then power of application, practice, meditation, whatever, anything recitation goes there. And power of regret, so whatever you negative actions, and you feel regret, and you promise I will not do this again. That's the 4 power. My enemies, although certain meditational deities are wrathful, they are rather but manifestation of compassion. You know what I mean? While the smiling Yama is the butcher of being, once there was the old cat who was no longer able to catch mice. So he told them that as he had vowed against killing, they could circumambulate him every day. In this way he was able to catch the last of them. This is like Yama, Lord of Death, spiritual master who also sometimes manifests the wrath of meditation daily if it is to our benefit. Please catch hold of this very enemy who has made me wander in the jungle of cycle of existence. Please obliterate the devilish, selfish grasping which has chased me from the fight, high to low, and this slave one who is responsible for all the deteriorations of self and others, kill him outright and ties him fearfully. Amentaga. This is repeated, implying relative and ultimate bodhicitta. Go cut this degenerated word of honor and remove this negative thought. Bathe him, and rip out of the heart of the self-charging thought, dance on the head of this treacherous foe, stamp on him, trample and demolish him like an elephant who first catch a man with trunk, but then trample him to death. If the self-charging thought is rampant in us, we will have no thought of helping others. And even we do, our motivation will be impure. Thus, tear out the heart of the pitcher who slaughtered our chance of final release. That enemy is self-grasping and has attendant is self-judging thought. These two working together. So this is why self-judging mind and self-grasp two greatest enemy, right? Because of two greatest enemy, we have two great antidote. Antidote to self-judging mind is bodhicitta mind. Antidote to self-grasping mind is wisdom realizing emptiness. These two coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whom did we finish?
54.
54? Did you read this?
Yeah.
We finished this?
Yes.
Yeah, we read. Whom the first syllable represents relative and second ultimate bodhicitta. O great deity Yamentaga, please manifest all your miracles and truth, and subdue the two enemies, self-grasping and self-judging thought. Zaza, as interpreted, request to the deity to approach, please entice them with relative and ultimate bodhicitta, them and never set them free. Pair, subjugate them through relative and ultimate bodhicitta. O Yamentaga, you great Lord over death, free me from the bondage of self-judging thought with relative and ultimate bodhicitta. Loosen and sever the knot of self-judging thought and its grasping. Okay. Maybe just leave it here.